In this video, we'll be going over how to assemble your new Yamaha marching tenors with the new free-floating lug bridge system. When you receive your new drums, you will notice that there are black spacers pre-installed. This is the new free-floating lug bridge by Randall May. The new free-floating lug bridge allows the drums to be attached without the need for additional drilling. This means a more freely sustained and deeper tenor voice, as well as a significant decrease in weight for all configurations. Before we can begin, let's go over what you will need to assemble your tenors. You will need a Phillips head screwdriver and a 7/16 socket wrench. You should also have ordered a carrier. Without a carrier, you will not be able to proceed, as the tom rail is essential to the assembly process. Step 1. Unpack and gather parts. Now that you have the required tools and carrier, you can unpack your drums. Please note that the instructions will be inside one of the boxes for your convenience. You will also find a bag of parts that will be needed for assembly. This bag contains lug casings, black screws with big washers, black screws with small washers, and 2 small bags of bolts, washers, and nuts. In each box you will find a drum shell, drum head, rim, and tension rods. Step 2. Find configuration and assemble. Once you have unpacked your drums, you can find your configuration. The best way to lay out your configuration is to do so on a flat surface with the drums upside down. Please note that because your drums are upside down, the layout will be mirrored. With your drums in place, you can begin assembly of the main 4 drums. Before you begin, please take note of how the pre-installed lug bridges are assembled. You will be assembling the drums in a similar manner. Begin by positioning the lug casing into the free-floating lug bridge. Next, you will attach the shell to the lug casing using the provided black screws and washers. Please note the use of the small and big washers along the inside of the shell. You will want to use the same arrangement when attaching the lug casing. Attach the remaining drums, excluding the Spock drums, in the same way. Step 3. Attach Spock drums. With the main 4 drums assembled, you can now attach the Spock drums. Find the bag of hardware with the nuts that have sprockets. These will be used to mount the Spock drums. Insert the bolt into the shell so that the head of the bolt is on the outside of the drum. Place the washer on the bolt, followed by the nut, and tighten just enough to hold the bolt in place. With the bolts in place, you can slide the metal bridge of the Spock drum onto the bolt heads. Once in place, you can tighten the bolts. Follow the same steps with your second Spock drum. Please note that the height of the free-floating lug bridge should match the height of all other lug casings, and it is normal for the head of the bolt to be slightly exposed. Step 4. Attach back rail. Now that you have all of the drums assembled, you are ready to attach the back rail from the carrier. Using the other bag of bolts, washers, and nuts without sprockets, you can install the bolts onto each side of the back rail. The nuts should be tightened just enough to hold the bolts in place, just as was done with the free-floating lug bridge. With all 4 bolts in place, slide the back rail onto the pre-installed metal bridges of the outer drums. Try to insert both sides of the back rail simultaneously to ensure that they are even. Once in place, you can tighten the nuts. Step 5. Complete assembly. With the drums fully assembled, you can place them on a stand and complete the assembly with the supplied drum heads and rims. For your convenience, all Yamaha marching drums come standard with high-quality Remo marching drum heads. Tune up the drums and you're ready to go. Thank you for choosing Yamaha.